Welcome back. Today, we're cracking open the professional playbook for anyone who needs to create truly effective technical documents. We're going to be talking all about the document development lifecycle. It's the core framework that helps pros turn total chaos into crystal clarity.
So here's the big question, right? How do the pros consistently take a mountain of super complex information and turn it into flawless documentation? Well, I'll tell you the secret. It isn't just about being a good writer. It's really about having a great process.
And for this deep dive, our guide is the fantastic writerstable.in. Seriously, they've laid out this incredible practical roadmap for mastering this whole process, and that's what we're going to walk through, step by step, using their expert insights.
Now, we have touched on the DDLC before in another explainer, but today we are going way deeper. Think of it as this 6-phase journey that every single professional document takes, from just a simple idea to a polished, living, breathing piece of content. Okay, so to really get a grip on each phase, we're going to use a simple, but believe me, incredibly powerful framework that writerstable.in recommends. It's called ITTO. It stands for Inputs, Tools and Techniques, and Outputs. So for each step, we'll ask, what do you need to even get started? What do you use to get the job done? And what do you actually have when you're finished? It's our toolkit for mastering this entire life cycle. So let's start at the very, very beginning with what is, you could argue, the most critical phase of them all, analysis. This is where you lay the entire foundation for the project. Get this right, and everything else just flows. But get it wrong, and, well, you're looking at a whole lot of rework later on. And check this out. This is what's so fascinating about this data from writerstable.in. Just look at this breakdown. A technical writer's time is a staggering 60% analysis and research. The actual writing? That's only about a third of the work. This just perfectly shows how absolutely crucial that initial understanding phase really is.
So what does that 60% actually look like in practice? Well, using our ITTO framework, the inputs are things you'd expect, like design documents and product demos. The tools and techniques, that's your skill set. Interviewing subject matter experts, we call them SMEs, and doing your own digging and research. And the output, this part is so important. It's the understanding document, or UD. It's basically your consolidated notes, your synthesized knowledge on the topic.
And here is an absolutely essential pro tip from writerstable.in. Don't just keep that understanding document to yourself. You have to get it verified by the experts, by the SMEs. This one simple check makes sure you're building everything on a solid foundation of accurate information before you even think about writing a single word of the final document. All right, so our understanding has been checked and verified. Now we can start building on that foundation. Welcome to Phase 2, Design. This is where we create the blueprint for the actual document. You see the flow here, right? The output from Phase 1, your understanding document, becomes the main input for Phase 2. So you use that knowledge, have some more chats with your SMEs, and you produce a formal proposal. This proposal is what outlines the document type, the format, how it's all going to be delivered, the whole plan. So why even bother with a formal proposal? Well, because as writerstable.in points out, getting everyone, all the stakeholders, to sign off on the design before you start building can save you a ridiculous amount of time and painful rework down the line. It's all about aligning everyone's expectations right from the get-go. Okay, the foundation is solid, the blueprint is approved. Now we finally get to the part everyone thinks of when they hear writing, Phase 3, Development. This is where we actually build the content. So your inputs are everything we've made so far, the UD and that approved proposal. Your tools are all the practical things you use every day. You know, authoring software like Word or Madcap Flare, style guides to keep things consistent, and screen capture tools. And the output is that huge milestone moment, the first draft. Oh, I love this direct piece of advice from writerstable.in. They call out lazy technical writers who don't actually get their hands dirty with the product. The point here is crucial. Use the product yourself. It gives you this invaluable experience, it helps you capture way better screenshots, and it makes you less dependent on the expert's time. So, you've finished that first draft. Awesome. Time to publish, right? Not so fast. Welcome to Phase 4, Review. This is the critical quality control gate where good content becomes truly great content. Here, your first draft is the input, and the key techniques are all the different kinds of reviews. You've got the SME review, which checks for technical accuracy. Are the facts right? And then you have a peer or editor review, which checks for style, grammar, and consistency.
The output of this whole tough process is the goal, approved content.
For anyone who's new to this field, this is just golden advice. Don't be afraid of the feedback of the red pen. As writerstable.in really emphasizes here, you should never skip reviews. Every single correction, every piece of feedback, it's an essential lesson that's going to make you a better writer. Okay, with our content approved, we're entering the final 2 phases of the life cycle. This is all about getting the document out into the world and then making sure it stays useful over time.
It's really important to see these as 2 totally distinct actions. Deployment, that's the launch. It's the one-time event of publishing. You hit the go button and it's live. Maintenance, though, that's where the document really becomes a living thing. It's the ongoing, continuous process of keeping it accurate through updates, bug fixes, and user feedback.
And this slide just brilliantly shows the life cycle part of the DDLC. For deployment, your input is that polished, approved document. Simple. But for maintenance, look at how the inputs completely change. They now become external things like update requests, bug reports, and feedback from your users. This creates a feedback loop that makes sure the document evolves right alongside the product it describes.
And here it is, all laid out together. This is your complete playbook, courtesy of writerstable.in. Just take a look at how the output of each phase flows seamlessly into becoming the input for the very next one. From the first glimmer of an idea to the final updated document, this is the entire professional process at a glance. It's your cheat sheet.
So why does mastering all this matter so much? I mean, beyond just making you way better at your job, writerstable.in points out a very, very practical reason. Understanding these phases is one of the most frequently asked questions in technical writing job interviews. This knowledge right here isn't just theory, it's your key to a career. If you found this professional playbook helpful, hey, the learning doesn't have to stop here. Please let us know what you think in the comments, subscribe for more explainers just like this one, and you should definitely check out the amazing community over at r/learntechnicalwriting on Reddit. And of course, go visit writerstable.in for the full article and tons more resources. And as we wrap up, I'll just leave you with a question to chew on. Looking at these 6 phases, analysis, design, development, review, deploy, and maintain, which one do you think is the most critical for success in your own work? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching.